Today we're going to be talking about efficient workouts. If you want to build strength whilst having a life and being there for your family, you need to start doing more efficient workouts. But here's the thing, I'm not just going to tell you the 9 most efficient exercises because that's not what you need. What you need is to understand the science and mindset behind why these efficient workouts work, and then the tactics you need to be able to implement these workouts into your own routine. So these are going to be the 6 best ways to make your workouts more efficient. If you do all of these 6 things, I guarantee you your workouts are going to take less energy and become faster. I know these work because strength training and being a family man is what I do. And I use these same strategies to hit personal bests week in, week out, no matter what is going on in my life. All right, so this first tip is the spearhead of this operation because it's the main thing we need to drive progress in the gym, especially in a short amount of time. What I'm talking about is intensity. I'm talking the sort of intensity like, imagine your family's in danger and the only way to save them is by doing another rep. So how do we get that intensity on cue? We do this with proper programming. This allows our body to perform at its best whenever we want it to. We need to do this because if you want to get your body to grow, you need to hit it with something that it's never experienced before. And sure enough, when you come back to it next time, your body will be ready for more. This is the progressive overload effect. So how do we do this in the shortest amount of time possible? Well, the answer to that is by doing as many reps as possible. Training to failure. Basically, pushing to the limit needed for growth is guaranteed when you're hitting true failure. So this is the first step. But how do we make sure you're actually giving it your all? This is where the next step, accountability, comes into play. If you want to get the most out of your body, you're going to need someone to keep you accountable to that. Whether that's a personal trainer, an online coach, or just your mate that you send a video to of you doing your AMRAP sets, it doesn't matter. I guarantee you that when it's time to perform, if you know somebody's watching, you are going to give it your all. Together, we are strong. Take my clients for example. They wouldn't be putting in the intensity that they do if they didn't know. They would not put the intensity in that they do if they didn't know I was watching over them, keeping them accountable. Because they know I put the work in, they reciprocate that back to me. Everybody's happy, everybody wins. So don't lift alone in the woods because it's not going to make a sound and you're not going to get very strong on your own. I know at the start of this video I said that I wasn't just going to give you a list of the most efficient exercises, but that was a lie. Because exercise selection is super important. When you're trying to get super strong in a short amount of time, you've got to be doing the right exercises. So the next point is exercise selection. You need to be hitting movements that are going to hit the most amount of muscles at once. And these exercises are the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, the overhead press, barbell row, and pull-ups, or any variation close to these. When you don't have a lot of time to train, these are the exercises that you need to be doing because they give you so much stimulus in such a short amount of time. If you can track progress in these exercises, then you know you are getting stronger. I suggest hitting each of these movements hard at least once a week. And sorry guys, I know you're thinking, but what about bicep curls, Hayden? As the goal is to hit as much weight as possible in the shortest amount of time, bicep curls and all that other fluff just are not gonna cut it. But you do you. You can hit curls after you've finished or in between sets if you have time. But remember, when you're on a time crunch, the big movements are what are gonna give you the biggest bang for your buck. All right, so the 4th and 5th tip are gonna give you the tactics of how to blend the first 3 tips into your routine. The 4th tip is recovery. Recovery is the hidden key to building strength. So in the first tip, when we use all that intensity, we actually build up a lot of fatigue. Now, most people would say this is a bad thing, but we're actually going to use that fatigue to our advantage. But how do we do that? Take squats, for example. We're going to hit squats so hard that it's going to take us an entire week to recover from it, meaning that we only need to squat once a week. This is like the cheat code when it comes to building strength in a short amount of time. It's crazy that not many people know that you don't need to do a lot to get super strong over time. Which leads on to our next point, which is consistency. If you want to see progress in any endeavor in life, you need to stay consistent, especially when you're taking the less but more efficient approach. But how are we going to stay consistent using this method? Luckily, it's quite easy. The answer is by setting small, achievable goals. Like for example, I'm just gonna do the exercises I previously mentioned once per week. That's only like 2 hours total work. This short level of work is only possible when you're putting the previous steps, ensuring that your workouts are so efficient that you get that stimulus needed to grow quick. See, something special happens when you only set yourself a few achievable goals. When things crop up in your life, which they will, you can just adjust your workouts accordingly. Say it's Wednesday and you're supposed to do some squats and bench press, but something crops up. In your head you can say, that's fine, this workout's only gonna take me 30 minutes, I can just do it on Friday instead. This way, everybody's happy. This only works when your workouts are so fast and efficient that you can do them in half an hour. So even though your targets are small, because they're so efficient, when combined with consistency, you will get stronger. Now, point 6 is purely mindset. If you want to see progress with this method, you need to not give a fudge what other people are doing. So this tip is focus. It's bound to happen. You're perusing through YouTube and you see it. A video like how to bench 140 kilos as a skinny guy is calling to you. Well, don't answer. Let me save the time it takes to watch that video. All they're gonna say in that video is if you wanna bench 140 kilos, you need to just bench more and more. They're gonna say something like you need to bench 3 hours a week. Yeah, for sure, that works. But this is what happens when you bench 3 times a week. Bench becomes your life. You leave your wife for bench. You bench 140. Bench is all you have. And then finally, you realize when you lay down with bench, it doesn't quite do it like your wife used to. So stay focused, guys. Don't let anyone else distract you from your goals in life. I hope these efficient workouts give you freedom. I have been a personal trainer for 10 years, but I am new to YouTube, so I will take all the likes and comments that I can get. Let me know in the comments if you didn't quite understand anything from this video and I will explain. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out.